Okay. Wow, let's have a look. I'll change my backdrop to the normal one. Try and go for consistency. Preferences, and we go for backdrop. And we'll go for this one. There. Okay. What else do I need to do? Well. Video and yep, I think I've done everything. Well, today's a very special summer. We've been working very, very hard behind the scenes to get a new product completed, and it's ready for the big unveiling. So yeah, very exciting. Let's see. Oh, I'm actually very, very well prepared. I'm actually half an hour before start time, 27 minutes to be precise, which is lovely to have so many people online. I can see attendees that are pre-registered. There's Garrett Egberts, Young Chaffee, James McGrath, John Bailey, Kirsten Mason, Mervyn Roberts, and Sandy Newton. Welcome to episode 157, I think, of SAMA. Yes, 157. SAMA is a program where we normally invite an expert to talk about a subject in which they are an expert in. But today we haven't got an expert, we've only got me. But I'll try and pad it out. We've got a really exciting product to show you. It's, I mean, you must have seen it, I guess, by now, maybe ventured onto our HeaWea website. That's HeaWea.com. If you want to just search for it in Google, you can just go to just search for HeaWea MicroGen. It's MicroGen, just all in one word. Well, what are we, Wednesday? I haven't had a chance to look at the news. I hope that there's been calm throughout the globe. Gosh, we've had a bit of a bad few days, haven't we? There was the train crash in Taiwan and several other accidents where people had terrible, terrible accidents. So let's hope that things start getting a bit better. Okay, now, if someone can just confirm for me, please, whether or not I am successfully live streaming, that would be appreciated. Let's have a look. John, no, how do I do this? Facebook is so difficult for me. Live video. No, it's my personal website, not the Spooky 2 website, so no. So that's not going to happen. Gosh, Spooky 2 Facebook. I don't know how to do it. It's so confusing. Where can I see my pages? Oh, here we go. Spooky2.com. No, that's not the right one. Well, I think I'm live broadcasting on Facebook. Hello.
Is everything okay?
Everything's okay.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just, if you can confirm. Oh, okay. Sam has told me that Facebook is working fine. So I've got my, yeah, that's good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. So, wow. When's the last time I did a SAMA? It was a while ago, wasn't it? It's really good, these SAMAs. They are also a way of introducing us to experts who we can quite often work with and exchange ideas with. Yeah, so let's have a look. Right. You may recall that a few weeks ago we had a SAMA on aquaponics. We had Dr. Bill McGraw with us. It's always fascinated me how it's possible to, with just a small area, grow your own food. And it's healthy food as well. You know what goes into it and how it's been cared for. And Dr. Bill McGraw explained how to set up your own system. Well, he's now doing prawn farming, and we've got together again, not for a SAMA, but just to exchange more ideas on how he can improve efficiencies. And yes, it's really, really fascinating. It's a small amount of land, and you can grow your own food for the whole family. Okay. So, any questions that people would like to ask? If you're watching on Facebook, just type the question underneath the broadcasting video, and those questions will be forwarded to me, where I'll promptly ignore them. Or I might even answer them. And if you're registered online, just type it in the chat box. You'll see there's a chat box on the right-hand side. Just type in the message you'd like to send me in that chat area, and I'll get it directly. I've got a presentation to show you. During the presentation, I won't know what questions come to me, so I'll play catch up after that. Gosh, I started too early, didn't I? Well, we've got 20 more minutes. What can we talk about? I'm not allowed to talk about things that we're doing in the project side, and because I always put after I give a little snippet of information, people start asking 1,000 questions, and our poor support team get overwhelmed. So I won't say anything about what we're doing. We are doing a lot of exciting things. We always are, actually. And we're working with really good people too. People with kindness and love in their hearts. We find that people, it's kind of funny, but the more we do what we do, the more people that are similar in mindset to us get involved. It might not be people that are technical, but they may have other skill sets. And to get a really rag team group of people together to make something very remarkable, it's magic. It really is good. They're a fantastic team that we have. And yeah, it's just, everything's built on love. There's no hatred, no animosities, vindictiveness, or anything like this. It's just finding solutions for humanity. And possibly it's the first time it is being done on the scale it is now. We're truly global. We have technical contributors from France, Spain, Italy, America, and all the countries between. It's all over the place. Japan, Singapore, yes, New Zealand, Australia, Slovenia, a lot of different places who these smart people live, and they think to themselves, well, let's do something big. So they contact us, and we talk and throw ideas around as we do, and come up with some really remarkable thoughts and ideas and plans. Very remarkable plans. Another thing I find interesting is there seems to be pockets of like-minded people, pockets of researchers. When I'm talking about pockets, I'm talking about groups. For some reason, France seems to have a huge number of researchers, true experts in the field of bioresonance. And why? Well, I don't really know. But I know in the past there have been quite a few very clever scientists there who are doing leading edge research. And other countries as well. Italy, of course, is another country where there's been very, very vast inroads made in that field. It's really strange. In fact, when I was living in New Zealand, there was a pocket right where I lived. There was I used to run a couple of cafes, and below me, a person who came into the cafe was Stuart Andrews, who is the secretary of the British Rife Group. I mean, seriously. And I could throw a stone from the cafe, and maybe if I was lucky and they were unlucky, hit a window of the Auckland Rife Centre. Like, it's just grouped together, just coincidence? Well, who knows? But I suppose if you mapped it out, it'll be like a nerve. Well, we hear how the world is alive. Well, there's nerves going out, and there's nodes, and the nodes are where the experts are. Yeah, so yeah, it's really remarkable. So I spent a lot of time with Stuart Andrews. Unfortunately, he's not still with us today, but he told me some things which he made me promise I could not say, but helped me go down a certain path in the research to develop products which were better than what was out there. So we owe Stuart Andrews for that, and we owe a lot of other people too. We've got the people still thumping away on the Facebook, or the administrators on the Facebook. Every day they're putting hours in to help people, and the hourly rate for them is not very high at all, really. In fact, truth be known, it's the same pay rate as me. And we have the moderators on the forum as well. They put in their time and effort. Payback is through the universe. Things that happen, nothing truly happens by chance. It can happen because you're really, really, if you're having bad luck now, for example, let's say you've had a really bad run with your health. You've eaten the right foods, you've kept away from the poisonous medications, and just done the things which you know are good. And still your health might be going worse and worse. That could be due to a few factors, not necessarily physical factors either. It could be residual, what some people would call like a karma from what's happened previously. And karma has to be paid back either in one round or several rounds. And it could be that. There's people that I know who are seriously, seriously sick, and they turn their life around. Yes, they looked after their health as best they could, but the thing they did different from a particular time was they took steps to repay the karma and give themselves the karma points, the currency of life. And they, Jacqueline has just asked that it's starting in 15 minutes time. Jacqueline, don't worry. We haven't started yet. We're just doing a pre-session ramble. Okay, don't worry. So don't be disappointed. Just keep tuned in. We are due to start and do the quick maths now, 13 minutes time. So no problems at all. No, you're welcome. So we're just talking about karma points. The more good you do, it won't give you more money in the bank. It won't make you win lottery, or things like this. But for life, these coincidences just happen to increase in rate and in value. So you'll find, and believe me, it's absolutely true. You'll find that things turn around. Health issues can disappear or get greatly reduced just by doing goodness. Instead of walking past that person and doing nothing, you walk to them and you extend your hand and you lift other people up. You've immediately earned yourself a blessing. And if you do that too, if that is you and you don't do it for the purpose of for self, for your own gain, albeit indirectly, then the credits will be even higher. So it really is something that I tell a lot of people to truly turn your life around. You've got to start from the bottom. You've got to change the way you are, change your outlook, and also change your values. Of course, people say money is evil and it's distracts you from what's truly important. Well, the second part's true, but money is certainly not evil. But how you do it. Does money control you, or do you control money? If you wake up and you've got $1,000 under your pillow, it just happened to appear overnight because the tooth fairy was extra generous. Okay, $1,000. What do you do? What do you do with it? I guess most people would say, well, I'm going to go out and buy some clothes, and it's not quite enough for a holiday, but certainly enough for clothes. Maybe have a few nights out, romantic nights out. They're nice, aren't they? I've been told about them. What would you do with $1,000 under your pillow? And would you give $1,000 away without a second's thought to someone who needs it more than you? And after doing that, would you insist on having credit, expect being thanked? Or would you slip it under their pillow? They're the secret blessings that are so very, very valuable. A secret blessing is worth 1,000 regular blessings. It's nothing to do with religion at all. It's just goodness, which is something that religions also say is kind of a good thing. So, what do you do with $1,000? What would I do with $1,000? Well, I'm not going to tell you, because if I did, it wouldn't be a secret blessing. But change the way you think, and you will be surprised, especially long term. Wait, think about this too. If you are born with a really lousy digger hands, okay, everything is for a reason. Everything, is for a reason. Okay, maybe maybe you weren't good at previous times, and this is the time where you're having to pay that debt. Well, you can accept what you have and do the efforts to try and swing things the other way. But let's say you get some people that are really making your life, miserable. Actively, let's say they spread rumors about you. Okay. Now this is actually quite interesting. Some words are very hurtful. You know they're not true, and you know that they can be answered, and they can be proven wrong. But you're being attacked for a reason. And the reason is nothing to do with the people that are spreading the rumors. The reason is because of yourself, the way that you are and the way you were. Maybe in the past, you were a bad person and you did the same thing to them. It's a cycle. Now it's your turn to be the victim. So thank that person, or at least be thankful, because you are repaying a debt. They're giving you a chance to repay a debt. Yeah. And once you accept it, it becomes so much easier. The more intense the attacks, the more people that join in and agree with all their lies and rumors and everything, thank them. They're doing you a favor. Right. That's a bit deep, isn't it? A little bit deep. Okay. But that's my thoughts, and it's not just mine either. It's the thoughts of wise people. Yeah. Echo and I, we like to go to holy places here in China, and we meet people who open up our minds and help us to grow. On this previous Sunday, we helped a master, move from one temple to another. Oh, gosh. Now, monks don't live complicated lives. They live simple lives because their focus isn't on material things. So it wasn't too difficult to help move, to tidy up the new temple living quarters. But we felt so lucky that we had been invited to help her. It's an opportunity to meet someone absolutely amazing because we hadn't met her before. And yeah, it was fantastic. The new temple where she moved, it has a large tourist section, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. Huge as they tend to be, and yeah, they've got these statues which must be about 30 or maybe 100 feet high. big statues. Yeah, it's just incredible. And you meet people there who live there, who live their lives there. And they're different from the people that you just meet on the street. They don't greet you with reservation, look at you sideways. I get that sometimes here because I don't look too Chinese. I kind of stick out a little bit. But in the temples, the people there are just so receptive to anything. They don't think, they've got zero assumptions about me. They know I am there. That's what they know. They might come to me and talk to me. And if I'm lucky, they'll spend some time and teach me something. Yeah. Life is truly expressed from yourself. If you see goodness, then goodness is around you. There are times when you've got to change where you are through circumstance. Sometimes it truly is a bad situation. So try and gravitate yourself to where good people are and use those people as role models. It doesn't matter what age you are, you can be 70 and then start life afresh, anew. All right, so I know that chat's working and yeah, gosh, 26 participants. That's a lot, isn't it? Wow, let's see who else we have here. Quite a few new faces here. Let's have a look. It looks like I have one person using their phone as well. Well, it's good to see you all here. We've got 31 people online, and we have quite a few people on Facebook as well. So that's Zoom, that one's PowerPoint, and play from start. So yeah, okay, that looks good. Just checking the PowerPoint. That's all fantastic. Being the lazy person I am, someone else made the PowerPoint for me. Young Nick here. He does a very good job. He did the previous one as well. Oh, someone's got their hand up. Q&A. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sam. Sam, just put it into the chat section, because otherwise I've got to open the Q&A box. Sam is another one of my wingmen on this side of the woods. Isn't Zoom good? It's like there's no distance between myself and the people that are watching now. Because with the pandemic, it's so hard to actually travel. I haven't seen my family in New Zealand for such a long time. Good questions are coming through. I will answer them after the PowerPoint. But keep the questions coming. They're good. They're good. And Sharon, I've got your message. And I think you'll be surprised. I'll be surprised too. No, we've really gone to town on this new product. Hey guys, it's 8 o'clock. Strap yourselves in. I'll just grab a quick bit of water. Now, I'm not much of a talker, so I'll try and keep my voice active during this summer. Welcome to Summer episode 157, and I said we'd never reach 100. Thank you for tuning in. I'm John White. I work. I don't work. I play. I play with Spooky. I created Spooky, and since the early days, we now have thousands of people who are helping Spooky grow day by day, making Spooky make a big change in the world. Now, there's a new name you may have heard. The name is HeaWea. It's HeaWea. That stands for Healing Wearables. Now, I know in saying this, I'm actually giving away some of what's already in the PowerPoint, but I thought I'd just mention this early on. We wanted to create a product line which is truly portable. It does not, every product that's going to be a HeaWea product will not need to be connected onto a computer or to a PowerPoint. You can strap it on and you can just go on with your life. So, okay, let's get going. What I'll do, I'll share my screen and we'll start the PowerPoint. Okay, and we'll play slideshow and whoopsie doops up here. Play from start. Now, Sam, I have my phone with me, so if you can just confirm, please, that the PowerPoint is looking okay. I'll receive that message on the QQ. And we go to QQ. And Sam will tell me just to confirm, because I can't see the rest of my screen while the PowerPoint's showing. Okay, well, I'll just thunder on ahead and assume that everything is good. Okay, now, HeaWea MicroGen. There's our beautiful MicroGen there. It's a product that we have spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into. We looked at HeaWea MicroGen from all angles. We wanted something which had not been done before. And MicroGen truly is quite remarkable. Meet the future. Okay. Who is HeaWea? Well, it's an abbreviation of Healing Wearables. And we're committed to improving the quality of life by providing leading-edge, portable health products. As you know, Spooky and Mirrormate, both are products which can apply healing frequencies, but HeaWea takes it to a new level. Now, Clean Energy is a company formed in 2012. It's a company which I became associated in whilst I was forming Spooky in the early days, before 2012 actually, in the head offices in Nanjing in China, which is where I am now, where this broadcast is taking place. And we've got teams of scientists, engineers, designers, and basically really good people spanning the globe. Now, the thing that's common amongst all these people is that each of them have got their hearts in the right place. Now, we want to believe that there are solutions out there, and we have provided a lot of things, a lot of answers to problems that people have. And this MicroGen is the most recent one. Now, because we believe that things that we do, every single action, every thought that we have changes our lives and the lives of others. We have trusts. These trusts help children who are in need, children that even, for hospital, for schooling. Our focus has been on the younger children who have been given this bad hand, the bad hand of cards, and helping them so that they can become really good adults. Now, for all of our products, we keep the profits as low as possible. And the profits that we do make, we put back into future product development. I think it's because of our outlook, the way that we do things. We truly are different from other businesses, or the businesses that I know, where the focus isn't just on money and returns and growing bigger and all that. I think it's because of our attitudes is why so many people gravitate towards us. They can see through the lies that some people may be saying. It's purely because of business competition. Other manufacturers aren't happy with us because we come up with products which are a fraction of their prices, and they outperform their products as well. But, we just carry on doing what we're doing. Well, let's talk about what the features are for MicroGen. It's a very small unit. It's the size of MicroGen there. Very small. It's portable. It's got an inbuilt rechargeable battery. quite a large battery in here. It can run all day. It can run for over 24 hours. It's fully programmable, simple to program, and it's got a massive database. In fact, it shares the same database as Spooky. And it can do that because it's made by the same person and same people. It's only got one button, so it's hard to push the wrong button. It's only got a right button. And it's really powerful too. Even though it's small, it can put out 60 volts. That's really something. This is, that was one of the things that if we could not do it, we weren't going to make it, we weren't going to bother. 60 volts output. That's really, really powerful. But it's still safe because it's got current monitoring and regulation. It will not put harmful current through your body. Now, the frequency range is something really remarkable as well. We wanted an extremely high resolution. And we can go to 0.000001 hertz resolution. That means you have now got super accuracy in the output. And it can cover all the rife frequencies, even the very fastest one of BX, which is 1.67 megahertz. It can go all the way past that to 2 megahertz. So any frequency that Rife used can directly be applied by this very powerful, very small, very beautiful unit. Okay, it's got 2 different power cable options, and we'll get into that just a little bit later. And it can apply signals in both DC, which is what Hulda Clark used, and AC. Here we can see, oops, what happened there? Okay, the main structure, we've got the power button. It's not just a power button, we've really called it the right button because there's no wrong button, but as well as tuning it on and off, it also sets the power level. It's very intuitive. We've got the power level indication lights. There's 5 LEDs there. The more power, the more LEDs you have on. It's quite complicated, really. And there's a little cover on the bottom of the unit that keeps the dust away from the charging port, which is also the programming port, and the TENS cable port. Okay, so this is the unit here. There's a little cover that opens up and exposes underneath the ports. Okay, and what do you guess? What's in the box? We've got the main unit. We've got a lanyard. The lanyard is for hanging around your neck. It's got TENS pads, a user's manual, USB cable. It's got 2 TENS cables. You'll notice that one is yellow and one is white. The yellow one is the low power cable, and the white one is the high power cable. And it all comes in a portable case. The case is a good quality case, has a zip which keeps it all together, keeps everything nice and protected. So it's also a travel case as well. Okay, what does it do? Well, it's got 4 main functions. The blood purifier, which is the Bob Beck purifier. It's got the Hulda Clark zapper functions. And then it's got the regular frequency functions, the rife function we call it, in both low power mode and high power mode. Now, low power mode is also called FSM, frequency specific modulation, frequency specific microcurrents. So it's putting microcurrents through your body. Now let's talk about each one in more detail. The blood purified, it provides 27 volts DC across the chosen blood vessel. Now the signal reverses 7.8 times each second. So it actually is a very, very slow AC signal. It's biphasic, which means it changes direction. The treatment duration is 2 hours a day, and you do the treatments between 3 weeks and roughly 1 month. Okay, now MicroGen can replicate the original blood purifier of Bogback by applying exactly 3.9, look at that, 0.0000. Not many frequency devices can do this kind of accuracy. Now, after the 2 hours is up, the signal will turn off. MicroGen will automatically start the next day the same program. If you use the high power cable, you start with the lowest power setting. Now, MicroGen, even though it's small, is quite powerful. So it's always best to start at the lowest power level. And in fact, every time MicroGen is turned on, it starts on power level 1. You then click the button quickly to increment the power level in steps of 1. So you click it until 3 LEDs illuminate. This is 30 volts. If you find that that voltage level is too uncomfortable, you can reduce that. Now, ideally, the TENS pads should be placed in parallel to a blood vessel. That gives the blood more time to be exposed to the healing frequencies. Common locations are the wrist or behind the inside ankle bone of both feet. If you do the inside of the ankle bone, it's actually a very good position for 2 reasons, or at least 2 reasons really. The first reason is that the skin isn't as sensitive as it is on your arms or your wrist. The second reason is there's more blood between the points of your ankles than just across your arm there. Always please make sure that the TENS pads are stuck very firmly onto your skin. If the pads are loose, they can cause skin irritation. Now, anytime you feel skin irritation, it means that there is a problem. You should stop the treatments and change your TENS pads or change the location where they are. Treatments should not hurt. If it's hurting, it means you're doing something wrong. Okay, the zapper. I'm just stuck with the first. I proofread this, but I didn't actually pick up on this. The voltage of the zapper, it's I think it's low voltage. It's 1 light, I think was on. So it's on the lowest power level. When we talk about the frequency, 30 kilohertz, monophasic DC, and high power cable, MicroGen does this for you. In the software, which I'll be showing you in a little while, you don't have to worry about setting any frequency or anything. It's only 1 button you push. We want everything to be as absolutely simple as possible. So you run the zapper once the MicroGen has been programmed on the lowest power level. The treatments will last 21 minutes. Three 7-minute treatments with 21 minutes rest interval between sessions. Now that works out to 21 plus 21. It's about 63 minutes total time, just over an hour. Don't worry about 3 7-minute treatments and then stopping and then starting again. MicroGen does that all for you. In fact, all the difficult things MicroGen does. All you need to do is push the zapper button that's in the programming software. And from then on, MicroGen will have become a zapper. So don't worry about this thing about duration, rest periods or anything. During the program, MicroGen automatically applies the frequencies for 7 minutes, waits for 21 minutes, and then cycles again for 3 times. Not just that, but if you did want to keep the zapper connected, after the treatment's finished, it will wait 24 hours and then start again. Most people, of course, wouldn't wait that time. Okay, so the blood purifier has a single 2-hour treatment time, but the zapper has got the treatment time of just over 1 hour. Now, because MicroGen has got an FPGA, which is a fancy word for a powerful computer inbuilt, you don't have to worry about details. You just have to do it. And to do it, you just push one button. Extremely easy to use. Low power mode. This is using the low power TENS cables. It's called FSM, frequency specific microcurrent. Now, if you're treating for any condition that's above your shoulders, we're talking about your neck or your head, or if you're very sensitive to frequencies, you would need to use the low power cable. Now, FSM, the way it works is more gentle than Rife style treatments. It introduces energy into your cells, pretty much like scalar, like cold laser. They're all doing a similar job using different methods. Now, ATP is the substance which helps recovery. It's a necessary substance. It's the main source of energy for our cells, and FSM can increase ATP production by 500% in your tissue. This isn't just hearsay, this is through multiple studies. And so even treatments which you may be using the wrong frequencies, it still helps. High power, this is the mode that probably most of you are familiar with. There's our friend that we never met, Royal Raymond Rife. A lot of people use his photo and promotional material. We don't do that. We don't think it's respectful. But nevertheless, we acknowledge the fact that he's the man that was the pioneer for much of what we do today. Now, we will call it Rife treatments, even though Rife didn't specifically use contact mode. That was John Crane, one of the people that he was associated with. The high power cable gives the full power of MicroGen. It's used for the very serious health conditions. The MicroGen programming software automatically applies high frequency harmonics when high power cable is chosen to prevent any discomfort at low frequencies. What this means in English is that even if the frequency is low, you won't feel it. When frequencies are low, they become more painful. Your body can sense them easier. And because MicroGen is such a powerful device with up to 60 volts output, you'd be bouncing across the room and shouting out a few colourful words if the harmonics were not applied. So MicroGen automatically applies harmonics to bring the frequencies into a range where you will not feel them. That's in high power cable mode. Now, the database, because it shares the same database as Spooky, there's all the DNA frequencies, both the human and non-human, as well as the main database within the MicroGen software. So it's over 38,000 programs. There will be something there for everything you can think of. And the high power cable can address the health problems which are within the database. Pardon me. Okay, and there's also organ-specific and detoxification frequencies. I'm sure you know them. Programs which aren't necessarily for killing pathogens, but also for lifting your bodily functions up, making them so they function better. Okay, the hardware operation. Well, you can see the on the right-hand side the LED indications, starting from level 1, which has got 1 LED, level 2, which is 2 LEDs. And you'd never guess it, but goes up to level 5, which is 5 LEDs. There you go. Now, to turn MicroGen on, all you do is you just hold the button for 2 seconds. So it's a bit hard to see. There's my single button, the right button. Just hold it on for 2 seconds. 1, 2, there we go. And you can see that MicroGen is now running. When MicroGen is running, it shows the battery level, which is at the moment all the LEDs are on. If I give the button a quick click, which is setting the power level, the first click shows you the current power level, then you can increase. And you can see it's a power level indication because of the flashing. Now we're going to the full 5, level 5, which is the 60 volts. Okay, so there's only one button. You really can't push the wrong button. And another cool thing too, when MicroGen is turned on, it is running. It is running. There's no fast forward rewinds, program stop start. It just runs. So there's again just one less step for you to do. You can turn it on and then do absolutely nothing else. If I had the blood purifier program loaded into MicroGen, I could just turn it on with the TENS pads connected. Blood purifier, go to the what is it? Blood purifier level number 5, was it? Let's have a look. Blood purifier. Sorry, 3 LEDs. That's the 30 volts. So you just turn it on, then change the power level to power level number 3, and do nothing. That's it. There's nothing else you've got to do. It will run for the 2 hours and then it will stop. And isn't that amazing? 60 volts. For such a small unit, they can run for well over 24 hours. To carry MicroGen around, it's got a little clip on its case. MicroGen itself is inside a protective case. It stops MicroGen from being scratched and knocked around. It's truly designed to be worn all the time. It's got a ring here which connects onto the lanyard. Just push the center part and it's on the lanyard. You just wear this around your neck. You slip this under your shirt or blouse or whatever. And no one knows you're wearing it. And you're getting your treatment in contact mode. You can have treatments all day and all night. And quite often with health problems, that's when you see the fastest turnaround, when the health issue is being treated non-stop. There's no recovery time for pathogens. There have been, in the early days in South Africa, there was a person who discovered that if they held on to an electric fence, they recovered from malaria. But they found that they had to hold on to the fence for an extended period of time. In another part of South Africa, people discovered that when trains were going along railway lines, a voltage would appear between the two. And they used to connect wires and treat themselves there. Of course, that was pretty stupid because you never know when a train's going to appear. And there were a few accidents. But the point I'm making is they found that even without any frequency, even just with DC, if they could maintain the signal for a long enough time, then they'll get remarkable results. That is how the blood purifier works. 2 hours. Software operation. Now there's the software on the left. That is, what you see is what you get. There is nothing complicated in the software. Everything is minimalistic. And I'll be going through how to use the software in a little while. I would go as far as to say that without a manual, all of you could use this software, and all of you could write a program to MicroGen and use MicroGen without ever turning a page in that manual. It is extremely intuitive. The spooky software is quite complicated. Now, this is the opposite. This is truly user-friendly. Now, to both charge and to program MicroGen, you connect MicroGen to your computer using the USB cable. And you turn the MicroGen on. When MicroGen is on, it will give an indication of the battery charge. Charging takes about 5 hours from totally flat. Pardon me, I'd have some water again. You can charge MicroGen without having to turn it on, of course, but you won't have the charge indication. MicroGen has to be turned on before you program the MicroGen. In the software, you type in the words that you want to find the treatment for, choose the programs, and then you just load MicroGen. When I read this here, it makes it sound more complicated than what it is. And there's even a way of creating your own program. Let's say you have 5 programs that you want to group together into a single program, or you want to enter your own frequencies. Well, you can do that in a similar way that Spooky was before, or that Spooky is. Those are the 2 different cable options for the TENS cable. The low power one is the yellow and the high power one is the white. Don't worry too much about having to remember which cable to use for what kind of treatments. I'll explain in a little while how we've made it very simple for you. Now, as soon as in the software you push the load button, MicroGen is programmed straight away. There's no other options, settings, confusing anything. And a little message will pop up saying, hooray. Now, if this is a bit cheeky, I wonder if I should fast forward. So I don't, in fact, I will. Yeah, I won't go through this table. One thing I want to focus on is what MicroGen is and not what the others aren't. I've got my personal views for sure, and I know that the cost both of the units and for the programs that they charge and everything is just crazy. But this isn't the place for me to go through. So I'll skip this page. Okay, we use the low power mode for treatments above the shoulders, or if you want to sleep during treatments. If you sleep and then you move, the TENS pad may become dislodged. So you have to take great care. The TENS pads have their own self-adhesive gel. Don't use extra gel. And keep the TENS pads dry at all times. Don't wet them. This is just regular things we've said with other products. With TENS pads with Spooky, we say the same things. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's a copy paste. Make sure the TENS pads are placed on clean and dry skin, and don't use oils or creams on your skin before using the TENS pads. Don't use MicroGen if you're pregnant, if you have a pacemaker, implanted pump, or suffer from seizures of any sort. These are standard regular precautions, not just for our product, but for any product. You should be very, very wary. Some of the things I'm mentioning, they're the regular precautions one must take. It's up to you what you do and what you don't do. And you should always stop treatment immediately if you feel any sensation or tingling. It means that a TENS pad isn't firmly located on your skin, or your TENS pad may be placed in the wrong place. And you don't immerse the TENS pads in water. Transportation and storage. Avoid strong shocks, vibration, snow and rain exposure during transportation. I was thinking, well, I generally as a rule try and avoid strong shocks, vibration, snow and rain anyway. But this is for MicroGen. And be careful during transportation, especially for the NOx. We've built MicroGen to be as robust as possible. And of course, it's got a very strong case to add to the robustness. You store in a well-ventilated room with no corrosive gases and humidity levels under 80% relative humidity. Warranty. Now, MicroGen will be replaced or repaired for free within 1 year from the purchase date if it is defective and has been used in accordance to the instructions. We provide service and repair after the warranty period, but the material and shipping costs may be charged as appropriate. People that know us know that we take care of our customers. The warranty does not cover damage caused by user negligence or product misuse, which is like scratches, liquid damage, or unauthorized replacement of parts. Breakdown or damage caused by disassembling. Breakdown or damage caused by accident, and damage caused by natural disasters. If things turn to custard and things don't go right, contact us, because we always do try and find solutions that everyone's happy with. We do look after our family. And when anyone who buys a product automatically becomes family. And we're a big family. Specifications, it's got one output channel. It can supply both monophasic, which is DC, or biphasic, which is AC, full bridge signals. It's got output short circuit protection. I mean, that's a very brutal way of describing the circuitry that's inside MicroGen. It's very advanced, and as a side feature, it's got this short circuit protection with current limiting. The output frequency range is 1 microhertz. That is 1 millionth of a hertz. I don't think anyone else can do that. And it can go all the way up to 2 million hertz. The maximum frequency resolution is 0.000001 hertz. The accuracy is 5 parts per million, plus or minus 5 parts per million. It's got a very accurate crystal, super accurate crystal inside the unit. And the frequency is only plus or minus 10 ppm at maximum per year. These are all technical numbers. All you need to know is that the electronics is state of the art with no compromise made on quality. What you program into MicroGen is what will come out. Not roughly, exactly. In fact, MicroGen has been developed twice. This is an aside that I'll probably get told later I shouldn't have mentioned, but it got developed twice. We developed MicroGen, it got something really good, but we found that there was an almost imperceivable jitter in the signal. A jitter is like a shaking, tiny shaking. And we realized right then that no, we had to really start from the beginning. We wanted zero jitter, nothing. It meant that we had to make the circuitry considerably more complex. It is why other manufacturers don't go down this path. It is more difficult to achieve true zero jitter signals. So it's rock steady at 1 millionth of a hertz resolution. It can go all the way up to 60 volts, which is really amazing. Now, that may scare you. You think, gosh, 60 volts, that'll kill me. Well, it would certainly be extremely painful, but with the automatic protection that's inside MicroGen, it doesn't. It automatically brings the level which is best suited for your body. So the treatment going through your body should be thought upon as current rather than voltage. Voltage is a very imprecise way of giving a specification. I can, for example, have a device that is 100 volts and not feel anything because I'm wearing rubber gloves and I'm holding it by my hands. Or I can have a 5-volt device and feel enormous amounts of current passing through me because my hands may be wet and I'm holding the contacts directly. So don't be misled by specifications from other suppliers and the units can do this. They always give the specifications which sound favorable to them, but you're not getting a voltage treatment, you're getting a current treatment. And what MicroGen does is ensure that you do get that current through your body and precisely, and the precise frequency that's going to give the absolute best results. La fun, that's it. Okay, so I'll stop my share and go back to my my regular screen. Now there's a few questions that have come through. I'll fly through these questions, and then we'll fire up the software. Is that a good idea? Or should I do the software first? Let's have a look. I'll see if there's any software specific questions. Right, okay, that's software. Okay. Okay, there's not many questions on the software, so let's go through the questions that have been asked. Okay, Sharon Whitman asks, what is the power of the unit comparing to the tens pads of generator X? Now, that's a very good question. The maximum voltage that generator X can put out is 20 volts. That's the maximum voltage. So for a start, the voltage is increased from 20 to 60. Now let's look at the current, which I've just spent a bit of time explaining is more important. Typically in contact mode generator X, the current will be in the order of around 100 milliamps. That's 0.1 of an amp. The maximum current that MicroGen can put out is closer to 4 milliamps. So it's significant. Let's think this out. It's higher. The 4 milliamps. No, sorry, it's closer to 20 milliamps. But the way the current is higher from MicroGen. Gosh, I'm tired. The current is quite a bit less in the generator X than from MicroGen. MicroGen delivers more current through your body, and it does so at a higher voltage as well. It's an order of power greater. And are you able to check where your vibrations are at and how to improve it? Oh, okay. Mark Dallas is really asking about biofeedback. Mark, you can use Spooky to determine the frequencies that are best suited to you, and then use those frequencies, create your own program, and apply them using MicroGen. Sharon Whitman asks, can you use the silver conducting sleeves instead of the tens pads? Of course you can. You can use any method to apply the signals to your body. MicroGen comes with tens pads because we consider them possibly being the best way of guaranteeing there is a connection. Of course, with sleeves, if you've got thin arms, maybe the sleeves aren't tight on your arms, and so they may be loose. But of course, you can wear the silver pads, sleeves. But the problem, of course, is how to connect the tens cable, because the tens cable is the pin type, which is that type there. It has pins that plug into the tens pad. And so if you can connect that pin to a silver sleeve or glove or strap of some form, using this method here, then that would be good. So that's really, that could be the only issue, whether that can plug into your silver strap. Okay, and you can put in your own programs. So Robin Timsu asks, is this set up with tens pad connect and walk around wired up to tens pads? Okay, you're asking, how do you actually use it? Well, once you have MicroGen plugged into a tens cable, and you have, which is just in the bottom here, just plug in the, wrong. Plug in the tens pad and the cable, and then you plug in the pads. You just stick it on your body like you'd have before with Spooky. This would hang around your neck. We'll show photos and videos on how you do it. And you can just tuck this into your shirt like this. And the wires will be inside your clothing, so you won't see those. And so you tell me, can you see I'm being treated at the moment? You can't, right? Well, this is how it would look during the course of a day. You just have it, wearing it around your neck. And you can use high power mode or low power mode, the frequency specific microcurrents. Just carry this little baby around with you. You don't have to explain to anyone why you've got wires sticking out in places because they can't see the wires. The cable is a very flexible silicon feel cable. And so it doesn't feel uncomfortable when you have it underneath your clothing. Or of course you can just lie down and do treatments then, but this is not where the fun is. The fun in life is actually getting out and getting mobile and not being stuck in one location. Okay. Can you use this on Spooky programs, for custom programs you've already made? Well, Bev, the bad news is yes, you can. Of course you can. Spooky shares the same databases as well as the custom database. So you can transfer the custom database to the HeaWea MicroGen installation, and it will be used automatically. Right. Can we use Spooky silver conductive products? Well, as I said, if you can plug this into any of those products, then you can. I'm not sure if there's an adapter cable that can do that. Maybe Sam can help me out there. Okay. And Sean Elliott, you're asking about the wrist pad is easiest to be used. That's a yeah. Well, that's if one of my team can just let me know whether it can be connected onto a one of our silver products, that'll be appreciated. Okay, Robin Tim is asking, so where does this stand in the hierarchy of Spooky 2 Central being the most superior? Well, Spooky Central is a plasma unit, which is what Royal Rife used. It is still and will quite possibly remain the most powerful way of treating. But of course, with plasma, you can't treat yourself during the day, can you? Well, you can, but it's very difficult. It's okay now. Carrie is saying software first. Well, I'm almost through the list, Carrie, so I'll just keep on blundering my way through. Can you use this if you have metal in your body, hip replacement, or pins and shoulder and so on? A question from Sandra. Well, yes, you can. Most metal products in your body, they're non-reactive. They don't oxidize, so it won't make any difference. We have, as a general precaution, we state, we can't use it if you have metal in your body. But there has not been one incident of someone that I know or even read about where a contact mode treatment caused a health problem because of the metal implant. It's really when it's to do with electronics in your body that you may have to be a little bit cautious. Can you connect the Spooky 2 watch or the lights? No, you can't, Carrie. We were thinking, what additional features we should have with this, throw in everything, including the kitchen sink. We decided no. We would focus on a product which is the best for one specific function rather than try and cover everything. So we decided no contact mode and make sure there's no compromise in contact mode. Okay, and What kind of wave is produced? It's a square wave, an extremely sharp square wave. It does not produce any other type of wave. With our research, we have found that the way to get signals into cells is to have a signal with extremely high frequency harmonics. Even if the frequency is a very low frequency, to enter the cell, you need to have very sharp asymptotes of waveforms. So our square wave is a 40 nanosecond switching wave. That means to go from 0 volts to 60 volts takes 40 nanoseconds, which is 0.04 millionths of a second. It's hard when you drive a capacitive load, which is the human body, with a sharp waveform, and to keep that waveform sharp. The way to do it is to use a low impedance source, and also to have a very fast electronics stage on the output. I see that Hank Giganday is participating online. He worked with us in developing a very impressive contact type of amplifier. So Hank will know very well how difficult it is to have a square waveform when connected to the human body. It's all very well to have a sharp waveform when something's on the test bench, but once it's in the real world, that's where it matters most. And we made sure that the signal is very sharp and maintains its high frequency component. So it's good to see you with us, Hank Giganday from Canada. Okay, let's have a look. Dr. Siddheshwar Chopra. Hello, Sam. Good to see you here too. You are asking, can we use a power bank to boost its power level? This is another design feature that we weren't going to be without. You can use any power bank, USB power bank, and plug it into the USB port, and then run it continuously. The unit will charge. Once it's fully charged, it'll then just maintain its full charge and run off the power bank. When the power bank is fully depleted, it'll switch back to its internal battery. Okay, Hank is saying, if he remembers correctly, which most of the time it's the case, the 7-minute cycle of the Holder-Clark zapper is because of the time it takes for the blood to circulate through the body. So the 3 sequences of 7 minutes provides a good application of the 30 kilohertz signal. Now, Hank, yes, you do remember correctly. And the 3 repeats, or the 2 repeats, so 3 treatments total, is to ensure that you catch different stages of the pathogen or parasites that are in your body. Now, Chris Kelly is saying that's a regular banana connector. We're talking about this connector that goes into the TENS pads. It is a regular connector, but it's a small one. It's smaller than the larger banana connectors, funnily enough. But that's true. That's a regular one. We didn't want to have people locked into our products and use. We make our own TENS pads to keep the price low, and you'll find that our pads are cheaper than others. But we didn't want to make them different, so people are locked into using our TENS pads. That would be criminal. So it's just regular TENS pads. If you buy TENS pads elsewhere, we don't really mind, but it just needs to have this connector, which is a regular TENS connector. And Chris Kelly is saying it is the same connection as the silver gloves from Spooky 2, so that's good to know. And the silver wristbands would make a good addition. So, well, we saw these separately on the Spooky 2 website. So when you place the order, just if you can't find a way of adding the silver contact items to your order, just write a note for the support ladies to contact you and add them to the order and help you through. It's true, the silver wristpads bands are good. Okay, and of course you can ask questions after the software demo. Can you use more than one device at a time? Well, Chris, with Generator X and the XM generators, the answer would be no, because they share a common earth. But of course, this doesn't. This is all self-contained. So you can have 2, 3, 4 of these connected to your body and run them simultaneously. And in that instance, it wouldn't matter at all. It would be actually very good. Each one would add to the other. So you can actually run multiple MicroGens at the same time. Can you use Apple Mac computers to use this device? No, the software is Windows software, the same as Spooky. So you'd have to use a program that creates a Windows box within the Macintosh, something like Parallels or Boot Camp or something like this to create. Now the thing is, though, Karen, once it's programmed, it holds that program forever until you reprogram it. And so if you've got a program that you know that you'll be using for a long period of time, maybe you can use a different computer to program and then unplug it and just use it. And the program will be running. At the end of the program, MicroGen automatically cycles to the start and runs it again. So the treatment time is the duration that you have it on. I mean, it's really simple, really simple. How different is the duration as compared to remote mode? Okay, this is a question with regards to comparing this with Spooky Remote. Spooky Remote is about the same as contact mode. And so I guess it's around the same amount. So it's probably the same, about the same treatment speed as remote. Okay, so those are the questions, and there's a few Q&As come through. The Q&As, I think, okay. Okay, now I'll answer the question, some of the questions. You're asking, can HeaWea be effective in the case of a brain tumor? Now, I'm not a doctor, and I haven't got the qualifications to give you advice directly. What I can tell you is people have used them for ganglion cancer and other cancers of the brain. They've used frequencies which are generally higher because you've got two bone layers to pass through to enter the brain, and the higher frequencies pass through there. Okay, Eugene, it is a HeaWea MicroGen. So Spooky to Generator X or HeaWea? Eugene, I think you're asking which one should you get? Well, they're very different products. Generator X can tell you what frequencies to apply, and of course can apply them in contact mode or run the plasma or other of the other multiple modes. HeaWea is a contact only mode, a portable contact only. So it's a different kind of use. And Chris, you're asking, is it effective for sinus infections? Absolutely. In fact, the low power mode is perfect for sinus. This is one of the main applications of FSM. Okay, are there any concerns? Vi Bauer is asking about Herx reactions when used with blood purifier and zapper. And yes, there are. Well, there's no concerns, but there certainly is a good chance of having a Herx reaction if you have got pathogens, and you do things which are recommended by sites. You can consume activated charcoal tablets. You can drink plenty of water, and there's other steps which aren't expensive to negate the Herx reactions. And yes, I would recommend the low power mode for front sinus pressure. Is there a scientific study showing FSM can increase ATP production by 500%? Yes, there is. There are research papers. You can do scholarly searches, and you'll see just how remarkable ATP or low power mode is in increasing the ATP production. Are there any concerns of getting harmful EMF radio frequencies or electric fields from MicroGen? MicroGen, the unit runs for such a long time because every component we've used in here is very low power. It's like directing the power to the cable only, which goes to the TENS pads. The unit does not produce appreciable radio signals, so there are zero concerns for EMF radiation from there. How does MicroGen compare Spooky in both remote and TENS applications? Well, TENS applications for Spooky, Spooky is less power because it doesn't have the voltage to push the current through your body. So the power is less when you use generator X or the XM generators. And it's comparable with remote mode, but with contact mode, it's more localized, the treatments. Does it have the full database like Spooky 2? Yes, it does use the full database, Chris. It doesn't have the molecular weight database. Does, okay, and you've asked about the Apple, with the Apples, Macintosh can use it. Okay, do you always wear the TENS pads with it, or does it work like a remote? This is a question from Wendy. Good question. You always wear TENS pads with it. It's a mobile contact device. There are people that they have got their reservations and they're very hesitant in using remote mode. Well, they've got no qualms with contact mode. This is a portable contact device. And Isabel, yes, this device is more powerful than Generator X. It's more powerful electrically, as in putting more current through your body. Generator X is more powerful in the computation side. Generator X has got multiple computers inside. Computers for not just handling the waveforms. Remember, this is square wave. Generator X can do many different types of waves. It's also more smart insofar as it can do biofeedbacks. It can monitor signals that pass through the output of the generator. So Generator X has and will remain the most advanced generator out there for a long time. And this is more powerful in the signal itself. Okay, so we've done a lot of chatting. Let's go into the software, which means I have to, let's have a look. I have to share my screen again, which is over where? There, and share screen. Okay, share. Okay, and there is the software up and running. Now, watch very carefully. I'll show you only once. Let's say you have something like arthritis. Oops. Arthritis. You search for the word arthritis and you click on the search button. The arthritis programs will appear. You'll see the program name. You'll see the number of frequencies that each program has. And you'll also notice that some of them have got a star. The star are the programs that we deem most efficient. You've got the greatest chance of success with the ones that have a star. That is not a firm thing, of course. You can find that a different program works better for you. We are using feedback from our users to select the programs that are most efficient. So you choose the programs that you wish to run. I'll move my face. I'll clear the previous programs by pressing the rubbish bin icon. And let's say I choose arthritis specific. So I double click to load, the same as Spooky. One click gives you the notes, double click transfers it. I'll show you something different. You can select multiple programs at the same time. You press shift and then pre-select as many as you like, and you can push this arrow button and all those programs will load. If you choose one program and you think, gosh, I made a boo-boo, just double click on the program and it disappears. The total runtime is shown 2 hours, 30 minutes. That means after 2.5 hours, the program will start again from the beginning. You can choose a different duration for each frequency, but most people just want to leave it as it is. Okay, you're still all with me so far. Time to program. Now you can't see me, or you can see me. I'm going to plug in MicroGen. There, I've plugged MicroGen in. You can see it's been detected and installed by Windows. All I do now is click one of these buttons. I've chosen programs, so I'm going to run in either low power mode, which is FSM, or high power cable, which is the RIFE mode. Notice that there's a yellow dot here. That means it is meant to be used with the yellow cable, the low power cable. The other buttons have all got white dots, so they all use the white cable, the high power cable. I'm going to apply these using RIFE style treatments, nice and powerful. So I click this button here. Well, that wasn't very difficult, was it? What happened was the program went searching for MicroGen, found MicroGen, and then transferred the program. That's it. Now, without doing anything else, I've now got a fully functional RIFE machine, portable, programmed. And not just that, but as I speak now, it's actually running. It's actually putting out the frequencies, even before I've unplugged it. Straight away it runs. If I want to run from the beginning, I can turn MicroGen off and then turn it back on again. So that's super easy. If I wanted to run it in low power mode, if I want to do a program, for instance, for, let's see, sinus. I got asked about sinuses. I'll do a search and see what sinus programs there are. There we go. Now I'll clear what was previously loaded by clicking on the rubbish bin. And I'll choose that one by double clicking, or that one. No, I won't. The last one, I won't do the cancel one. So I'll double click and remove it. Dermal sinus, load that one as well. 1 hour treatment time. That means if I wore it for 8 hours, I'll get 8 cycles of treatment. I want to treat myself on my head, which means I'm going to be using low power cable. I go down to the low power button and I push it. Now I've got a fully functional state-of-the-art FSM machine and it's running. No stop, hold, pause, rewind, fast forward buttons. It's running. So I can unplug it and wear it. It's currently on the maximum power level. To make it low power again, I click the button twice and it cycles back from the high power back to low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back to 1 again. Well, I really don't know what else I can show you in the software. There are the two functions for Zapper and Blood Purifier, so I'll go through with them. As I say now, MicroGen is running as a FSM device. If I wanted to run it as a blood purifier, where the TENS pads provide a signal that removes any pathogens that are within your blood. I don't need any programs loaded. I don't need anything anywhere. Once the program is running, I push the blood purifier button. One button. And now I have a state-of-the-art blood purifier. Gosh, I've just saved myself another $100. Okay, so let's say for blood purifier, it's really designed for a treatment protocol between 3 weeks and 4 weeks. So I just leave. I don't need to program it the next day. It's going to be always a blood purifier until I change it and load a different program in. It can be a blood purifier for 100 years. I never have to program it again. But let's say I get bored of using a blood purifier and I want to use a Holder Clark zapper. I want to turn it into a zapper and save another $100. Zapper. There we go. I've now got a zapper, which isn't just a regular zapper. It will cycle automatically on and off, on, off, on, and then off, wait 24 hours, and then cycle again. I don't have to worry about anything complicated. Most zappers on the market, they give the signal. Not quite as good a signal as MicroGen. The signal isn't so sharp. But they also don't automatically turn off. And the signal isn't as precise as well in the frequency. So, just summarizing, with the software loaded and MicroGen connected and turned on, I need one button pushing. That's bad English, isn't it? I only need to press one button to turn MicroGen into a blood purifier or a zapper. Or I can turn it into a full-fledged Rife machine by selecting the programs and then pressing one button. There. So we have really taken things to the extreme with simplicity. There's no visual overload, worrying, gosh, what does this do? And am I doing something wrong? It's not possible to do anything wrong. All the complicated stuff is done by the software. And that's what computers should be used for, I guess, to make life easy. There was a question I was asked, can you enter your own programs into a form of a custom database? Well, we can. I've got these programs here, and I now decide, well, I want to create my own personal program to make it easier to find later. If you want to do that, you click on the disk icon, which means save. And when you do that, you get presented with this screen for saving the program. The frequencies are already loaded, and the notes contain all the treatments that are within the program, which you can see in the notes. So all I have to do is give it a name. Now, I'm not feeling very imaginative at the moment, so I'll call it John White. And do I want to save it and exit? Yep. When you do that, the databases refresh, You can see the DNA database for humans, all human diseases, human-related pathogens are there, and the non-human ones as well, because pets also get sick. And there we go. And there you can see my new program is right at the top there. So if I remove the loaded programs and I load my program in, you can see the runtime was the same before. You can see in the notes all the programs that were in the other program before. I'm going to apply it in Rife mode. So I click high power cable and it's done. Now, you've got to admit that is very, very easy. If you do want to create a program from scratch, you can go Programs and New at the top here. Then you can create your own program, give it whatever name you want, enter whatever frequencies you want, and give it a description as well. So you still have the power, but now something which is really state of the art is usable by everybody because it's so simple. One button for blood purifier, one button for zapper. And once the programs are loaded, one button for both frequency specific, microcurrent, and high power Rife style treatments. There's nothing really else to talk about in the software because that's all that there is. This is a software which I wrote, which from the very onset was designed so you do not need to open up one page of the manual. You can work it out without too much trouble. Not everyone are computer technicians, engineers, scientists, researchers. There are, the majority of us are just everyday people that just happen to get sick and want to get well. And it's all very well having a product which can do the job, but you've got to be able to run it. You've got to be able to drive it. And MicroGen has been designed so that everybody can use it. Okay, I'll stop the share and see if there's any other questions that have come up. Okay, Powerful. Okay, Chris is asking, do we always need to change the power with the button? And how do we know which power level is best to use depending on the cable or treatment? Chris, yes, you always change the power using the button. It will always start on the lowest power. Most people would probably use the maximum power, even though it sounds scary, 60 volts. The power regulation circuitry within MicroGen regulates the energy that's passing into your body. Some of the protocols like the zapper and the blood purifier, they have specific power levels that were found to be optimum by Holder Clark and Bob Beck. So I just follow the guidance there. And Wendy is asking, why would we use a blood purifier versus a zapper? Well, Wendy, a lot of conditions are bloodborne. The pathogens circulate through your blood and get transported to other parts of your body. Things like HIV. People have used blood purifiers with HIV, and they have, in their own words, this is not mine, eliminated HIV. I have no personal experience from this, and as I said previously, I'm not a registered medical professional. But please do your own searching and do some research to find out more about your condition and how other people have resolved the problem. With MicroGen, you already have a blood purifier, you've already got a zapper, and you've already got a full-fledged Rife contact style machine. So you don't need to make compromises and worry about what kind of device and which is the best zapper on the market or the things like this. All you have to worry about is um, um, all you have to worry about is finding deciding whether you should use the zapper or the blood purifier, and really the best sources of that type of information is from the Holder Clark and Bob Beck sites themselves. I believe that you can use both. Um, the Bob Beck blood purifier, that's really a 3 to 4 week protocol. But Zapper doesn't have that kind of restriction, so you can use Zapper for more days. Maybe after you've done the blood purifier protocol, you can do that. And you can certainly alternate between low and high power modes for a better range of healing, which is suggested by Isabel. That is a possibility, that's right. Okay, and Heidi is asking, how do you use with pets? TENS pads don't seem to work on the furries. No, they don't. But what people quite often do is they shave patches so that it does have exposed skin, and then they apply the TENS pads. If you've got something like a tumor on the belly of your pet, then you can apply TENS pads quite often just by shaving the thinner fur that's there. And people with metal plates and screws can use this product. Okay, Leonard Sisson is asking about presets. Can the Spooky 2 presets be used? No, there's no provision for preset usage. It's only based on programs that you can load, which are compatible with Spooky 2, but not the presets. Okay, so that's the Q&A thundering through. Okay, is there a way to create... okay, no, I missed one. How do you determine whether to use blood purifier zapper or high or low power? Look at the color of the buttons that are on the bottom of the screen in the software. If it's a white button, you use high power, the white cable. If it's a yellow button, you use the yellow cable, which is the low power. Okay, so Carrie is asking, so if you understand correctly, we need to load new frequencies before switching between the zapper, blood purifier, and low or high power modes. Okay, just clarifying, Carrie, both the zapper and the blood purifier do not need programs. If you have programs loaded into the software, ready to load into the MicroGen, but then you choose the zapper or the blood purifier, the programs will not be loaded. Okay, those buttons only turn MicroGen into a zapper or a blood purifier, and they don't have programs, they don't have definable frequencies. If you have frequencies loaded and then you push the Rife, load Rife frequencies, which is the high power one, or the low power one, which is the FSM, then those frequencies will be transferred. Is there a way to create a pause between frequencies? Yes, there is. You just have 0 hertz in the program, and the 0 hertz is it would then be when the program is stopped. It's not just 0 hertz, it's also 0 volts, because when MicroGen stops, it also stops. So when the frequency stops, MicroGen stops the output. Almost all other devices on the market, when they stop in the last previous state. And if you're unlucky, it will be a voltage, a DC voltage across your body, which is quite unhealthy. Well, over a period of time, it can burn your skin. So that was another design feature of MicroGen. Hank, congratulations, you say. Thank you, lovely product. It is a beautiful product. You can, it's it feels nice in your hand. It can be carried in your pocket or your purse. There's no restrictions. It is a very small product. It's not heavy. Um, yeah, it is. It's cute. It comes under the cute category. And thanks for your words. Um, the only monophasic signal Hank is asking is the zapper. Is it yes, it is the only monophasic. We were concerned for safety. We didn't want people to subject themselves to extended programs um, using monophasic or DC type signals on a purely safety level. There was it can do it physically, but we decided no, we need to protect our users, and so this is why we only provide the DC signal style signal for the zapper, and the blood purifier does the reversing of a very slow AC signal. When Cheryl is asking, how do you know when to use high or low power? Well, the rule of thumb is this. Most treatments you use high power. If you are sensitive to frequencies, like you try high power and you think, oh, that hurts, which you won't. But if you are one of the unfortunate few that are very sensitive, or if the treatment location is above your shoulder, then use the low power cable. When you use a high power cable, this is what I've mentioned before, the software automatically raises the low frequencies so you won't feel them, but they will still have the healing effects of the low frequencies. It's the harmonics, which is a fancy way of applying frequencies in a way that doesn't hurt. Because high power, if you did apply low frequencies at high power, you'll discover words you would have thought you'd forgotten or hadn't used for a great number of years. They do hurt. MicroGen, even though it's very small, it is a powerful unit. Jacqueline, you're saying, thanks for always trying to help us. Well, that is what drives us, Jacqueline. It's what drives all the people that are behind us. Many good people making good products. And Susie, you're saying there's more questions on Facebook Live. I think they're the ones which Sam has forwarded to me. Facebook Live. There. Sam, if you can please forward them to me, it'd be appreciated. Okay. How many programs are loaded into the software? It's about 38,000 because we don't load the molecular weight programs into contact mode. Can you take a grade scan from Spooky 2 and load it into MicroGen? You can create a program from Spooky 2 which uses the frequencies from the grade scan and load them into MicroGen. I'm currently working on a facility, and there's no promises, where Spooky can also program MicroGen, in which case you don't need to change programs, transfer the frequencies, the copy and paste. You can do it directly. But this has not been done yet. It's still in beta mode. The software you saw now, that is one of the final betas. It's not the absolute final version. I don't expect any big changes between now and when it is finally released. The software is very good, very fast and everything. There's other things I want to add. I want to have language options so you can run in your regional code. So have French and Spanish and other languages like this. I'd like to have that facility. It all takes time and effort, but you know that It's something that we do. We put a lot of effort into things. We haven't got multi-language facility in Spooky, though we wanted to. That is because the Spooky is a very complicated program with different levels of code which perform different functions. We lost the facility of translating from one language to another. Because MicroGen is such a simple program, it's easier to implement. And so this is what I plan to do. Okay. Chris is asking, is the zapper fully automatic, or we also have to change the power level? Chris, you change the power level. You push the buttons to number 3, so 3 lights coming on. This is what Holder Clark recommended, 30 volts output. So 3 lights is 30 volts. Now you might want to apply more power, and so you've got, or less. And so you've got the option. It's just one button away, the only button you can push. Okay, same as remote function. Okay, Cassie, you're asking, is it the same as Generator X remote mode? It's not the same as Generator X contact mode. Let me clarify. It's for I guess you're asking how effective is it for treatments. Our current Spooky 2 remote is about the same effectiveness as a contact mode using Generator X. Because this unit is more powerful than Generator X or the XM generator, it may be more effective than Spooky Remote. It's a totally different kind of treatment. Some people may find that Spooky Remote doesn't work so well for them, or they may have reservations in using a remote type treatment. They may be more familiar with contact treatments, in which case they'd want to use MicroGen. Okay, I don't know, I'll try to help them. Okay, providing information comparing Spooky 2 products to other products on the market is helpful. Bev, you know, we created a chart. It actually annoys me how other manufacturers do this. They provide a table and they might have a Spooky column there and they say how their unit does this, and Spooky doesn't do this. It annoys me, not because, not just because they're lying, which, misrepresenting the truth, exaggerating in places and downplaying in others. It's like stooping low enough to actually put other products down to make their product sound great. I think it's wrong. We can compare our products with other products, and I know that they're far superior. But what are we doing? We're doing the very thing that we despise, which is putting other people down. It may well be that the other companies are good companies and they've got their hearts in it. What gives us the right to put down their product just to lift ours up? Our products should stand on their own merits. This is what we really believe quite strongly, and this is why I fast forwarded that particular presentation page. I felt that it was a little bit demeaning. What I can tell you is our products are the best on the market. And I can tell you that HeaWea, in such a small package, provides the punch of more punch than products much larger than that. I know one contact supplier boasts that their contact mode can reach, if I say you'll probably do a Google and find them, I think it's 72 volts. Now I can tell you that once it's actually in use, it's not 72 volts. If it was 72 volts in use and in a low impedance, which means using TENS pads, it's actually dangerous, especially with the electronics that they've used to deliver those frequencies. I know this because I'm an engineer, and I know what goes into these products. But MicroGen is a totally different item. I wanted MicroGen to be both powerful but also safe, easy to use. To be the best out there, so that people can return their lives back to health. It's all very well living a life, but it's another thing enjoying life. You can live till 90, but really live till 70, and the other 20 years be in bed or be kept in a wheelchair. Quality of life is what it's all about. So now you've got a contact device, which means you're not tethered to a machine which is anchored to the ground. You can carry it with you. Our MirrorMate range of products, the pulsed EMF, they're similar too. They're portable, they're effective. Contact mode is for a different kind of health issue. You want to use contact mode for diseases which are quite serious, and you'd want to use pulsed EMF for joint issues and other issues, for introducing more energy into your cells. Okay, can we use the same computer that runs Spooky 2 continuously? You should be able to. I don't think I've tried it, but you should be able to. And certainly, Chris, once Spooky can control MicroGen, then the answer would be definitely yes, because it'll be running the other Spooky generators in the background, which was another world first, by the way. But I don't think we've ever given a table saying number of generators controlled, and then given us as 126, and then the others 1. That's a bit of a low blow. But no, we if Spooky 2 can control, can load MicroGen frequencies, then there won't be a problem there. When I've entered some of the controls into the Spooky, but I don't know about the Holder Clark Zapper and the Bob Beck blood purifier, those buttons. At the moment, I've only got a buttons for low power, high power for Rife frequencies, because Spooky is predominantly a Rife treatment system, and so this is why my focus was on there. But we'll see how we go. Because it's still early days for this, then I can change things to how I like. Okay, are there standard programs for the blood purifier, or do we get to choose them? This is a good question, Carrie. Blood purifier is a specific protocol. If you're not following that protocol, then you're not following the protocol which was found to be the optimum by Bob Beck, who is a physicist. He tried different methods and found one that was the best. So MicroGen is programmed to those precise settings. So it gives the right frequency, the right durations. All you do is set the right power level. And no, you can't change it. It's locked to optimum. Oh, okay. With the other generators, it's recommended to run 2 at a time, one to cool and the other to clean. So to do this with MicroGen, would we have to have 2 running at the same time? Not necessarily, because when you're talking about killing and cleaning at the same time, you're talking about remote treatments. So you can still have one remote treatment clean for detox. You could run continuously the terrain protocol, for example, in remote, and still use MicroGen contact mode for the treatment. In fact, that would be the way I do it. But I also do other things. I take activated charcoal tablets, which are a fine way of getting rid of poisons in your body. There's other things you can do for chelating mercury from your body as well. There's never one way, but it's good to apply different ways. So you can do it both through substances as well as frequencies. What is the life expectancy of the unit, including the battery? Well, the unit itself, gosh, we're talking thousands of years for the unit itself. There's nothing which will fail in the unit itself. Even all the capacitors inside here are the top quality SMD capacitors. So it's really the battery, which I guess would last about 5 years, I suppose, regular use. I guess it depends on how often it's used. If it's not used very often, then I guess it would last longer. If it's left for a long period of time, they do recommend having the battery on half charge. The battery is a good quality battery. In fact, for all the components that are inside here, we're very wary of components which are counterfeit or low quality. So every single component is top quality. The battery itself, we could have saved price and got a battery with the same specifications electrically, but is there a guarantee it's going to work in a year's time at the same capacity level? And I'm sure you've got personal experience where you buy a battery and they look great, and then slowly the capacity drops until you're left with something that only lasts for minutes instead of the days it's supposed to last for. You see this a lot in cell phones. So we don't use a special battery. We use a regular industrial sized battery. And so if it does ever decide to stop working or its capacity does drop, it can be replaced. The battery is a branded battery. It's got multi-level protection for safety itself, and it's got full certifications to it. So certifications not just for specifications, but also for the quality from the very start of the production line right to when it leaves the production plant. So we don't expect the battery to have a short life. And Heidi, you're saying about things, but not putting down products. I'm sure there are plenty of other good products out there. There's some which, not many, but there's some which I do think are actually really good. And in the future, I intend to make something which is similar, but and try and exceed the performance of these other ones. And many of you may have other devices. Well, the very last thing you want is someone to lie to you and tell them that something's rubbish when it's not. There are lots of good products out there, and there's very good people too that produce these products. But unfortunately, not everybody is like that, and it's sad that they are not the majority of people. So just be aware that just because something is expensive, it doesn't mean it's good. And I do believe the level, the price that some people charge for their frequencies, for programs, is criminal. Getting close to criminal. Well, it's certainly not in the spirit of human nature and human love. It's to do with business and profit. And once they get the $1,000 under their pillow, it goes to something to fuel their wants, their needs, their desires, nothing to further humanity in any way whatsoever. Yeah. So this is why, we're kind of old-fashioned in ways. In some ways, we are truly leading edge. We produce products which are better than anything else out there, but we're really backwards because we still think for the people that are sick, that they may not have the loudest voice, but they certainly have the greatest need. And they're the people that we want to help the most. That's my tummy rumbling. Okay, so that's the life expectancy. Gene, there's a 1-year warranty, which I've explained before. You know, Gene, we are one of the best companies, nicest companies to deal with, even if it's something that's due to something you've done wrong. Okay, let's say you drop it and it smashes and the case is open and you think, gosh, there's no way I'm going to get any sort of help at all. It's in the warranty period, but I dropped it. Look, we may charge you, but we won't steal from you. Okay, we'll charge you for a replacement for the case, or we might say to you, we'll send it in and we'll fix it up for you and put a smile back on its face. We'll help you. We'll work with you. We'll try and give this sad story a happy ending. We always try and do this. Nothing is worse than being left out in the cold. Okay, so yes, there are the warranty periods and things, but we don't take advantage of you. We do try and work and help as many people as we can. You know, things happen, okay? Especially, I guess, with something portable. You know, it can be dropped. People drop phones in the cases, the screens break. Well, a screen breakage on a phone, a mobile phone, is not covered by warranty. But I don't think it should be expensive to replace something which happened by accident. It wasn't your fault. It just happened. You happened to have, you know, slippery hands. It was a hot day and you're in a hurry and you dropped it. Well, it happens all the time to some of us more than others. But no, we won't leave you in the cold. And okay, you run detox remote. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it, Leffer. Yes, I hope I've said your name right. Yeah, you can run remote detox. But it's like one system working with the other. MicroGen doesn't replace anything in the Spooky line, but it adds to it. It gives you mobility. You can, you know how if you've got a friend that is bedridden and they can have remote treatment, but maybe they're not responding to the remote treatments. It could be for a multitude of reasons. It could be high mercury in their body, and it's for whatever reason. Maybe they're old-fashioned and they just have a contact mode. They don't believe something unless they feel it. Well, you can leave this with them, program in the programs which are best suited for them, and just leave it with them. And every time they just want treatment, just turn it on. They don't have to worry about buttons and selecting or anything silly like that. Just turn it on. And they can feel that they're getting a treatment. The sensation won't be strong, but at least they can feel it. Or maybe if it's not the high frequencies. Okay. And you're saying about the software and database. Yeah, you know, when we created the DNA database, I was a little bit naughty. Everything that's in the DNA database is truly better than what's out there by other people that sell frequencies. I was a little bit naughty because I released a paper which explained why and where the mistakes were in the calculations and the derivation of frequencies by the other people that charge $15 for a program. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have just said, this is the maths, because that was kind of like putting them down. But yeah, $15 for one program to me just sounded wrong and got the blood boiling a little bit. So I released a paper which explained all the reasons why there are errors in the calculations. You can review this paper at my personal website, cancerclinic.co.nz. And hey guys, I haven't mentioned where you can get HeaWea from. I'm not a salesperson, so it's best to go to the site and have a look. The website is HeaWea.com. That's HeaWea.com. It's the abbreviation for Healing Wearables. Everything that is healing and can be worn is going to be thrown on that site, especially if it's something like a contact mode or something similar. Go to that site. There's more information. It's a new site, so we're still putting content in there. Obviously, you won't find reviews or anything like this because it's not on the market yet. We are releasing it, what was it, on the 16th of April? I think I've got that right. Now, the website, in fact, let's go to the website and have a look. HeaWea. Because the summer started so early here, I had to skip lunch. I had a couple of eggs. And okay, now I'll share my screen and show you the website. Okay, and let's have a look. Okay, and I'll just open up the website now, and Safari, do it in Safari, HeaWea.com. There we go. Now I'll go to my share screen and share. Now into Safari. Now this is our HeaWea website, and we now you'll notice there's the support that comes up. We never want to have people feel that they're alone. So if you do have any questions, concerns, you can type your message here, and one of our lovely girls will help you as best as they can. Okay. It might be a suggestion to go to different websites to learn more, because we've got a lot of websites now for support. So we've got spooky2support.com and spooky2videos.com. Okay, so this is the website. We have our MicroGen here. It's about the same size as a computer mouse, I'd say. Yeah. So if you hold on to a small computer mouse, that's what it feels like in your hand. Slightly curved. It's got the nice feel to it. So it's got pages explaining how it works, and you can download. I wonder if you can download the software. No, it's coming soon. I have a video to explain how to use the software. And I'll type in hi in there, see if someone's online. Maybe I can talk to one of the support crew. Sometimes I do this, and for somehow they always seem to know. Yes. Oh, there we go. I've got an answer already from customer support. Yes. So, oops, recording live on Summer. Make them worried. Okay, so we've got the video explaining how to use the HeaWea MicroGen software. It's coming soon, so you can't download it yet. I haven't released it as a final version. That will be within the next few days. And it's almost 40,000 programs now. Because we're roaring towards the end of the week, generally I update the DNA database every week. I try and do that because I like to have the very latest frequencies, catch the latest strains of the nasties like the coronavirus, which is making our lives miserable at the moment. Notice that the customer support have gone quiet. Gosh, they're in front of 30,000 people. Okay, they've got the case of the butterflies. And it's continuously updated. It only runs on Windows and easy to use. Is the end of the summer. I'll just check to see if there's any other questions. Can MicroGen be used to imprint frequencies? A question by Jean Lee Saudi, I suppose, if it's French. Is that right? Yes, you can use MicroGen to imprint frequencies. Not a problem for that. When can we download the software? Very soon, Carrie, very soon. I just wanted to make sure everything is polished. Now, the software, I have, for the last 3 days, done nothing to it. I've been trying to find faults. I've been trying to find ways of improving it. Now, by improving, I'm not talking about adding new features. The software will always be very plain, very simple. As little information and as few controls as possible. But I'm really thinking about the way it's presented. But I'm very happy with the way the software's looking now. We had a graphic user interface designer, a graphics designer, work with us to come up with what is possibly the optimum design for everybody. You'll notice that the font size is very large. The writing is very large. So anyone can read it, even if their eyesight is failing them. Not everyone's got 20/20 vision. So again, the software's got to cater for everybody. So it's got to be larger writing. The buttons on the bottom are large, so you can't miss them. With the mouse button, they're easy to select. Also, I wanted the software very fast, and because it only controls one generator, I could get the speed up. It's very simple to control one generator. It's much harder to control multiple generators. And Bev, you're saying you've got blue generators that I bought 8 years ago. That's Bev is talking about the XM generators. Yeah, these are really good generators, those. We don't design things to fail. We want things to last forever. We don't want repeat customers only because things fail. We want repeat customers because people love us and want to come in and buy more product from us. Okay, so Paul is saying, what a convenient and exciting new product. Well, yeah, thank you. We try really hard. And you imagine me, in the previous summers, I'm busy working on MicroGen. I've got ideas and schematics and everything all being worked on, not being allowed to tell you guys about it. And I really want to tell you what I'm doing, because I'm excited. I'm excited about things that I do. I'm excited about the changes that we as a family, forum, Facebook, here, elsewhere, are making to other people's lives. We're actually giving them a life. And not just that, we're giving them quality of life. And we're all part of this movement. So, and I can't tell you, because then we get our vultures swooping down, the enemies who really want us to fail. Fortunately, we're not going to, but given half a chance, they'll try. And also we don't want to put burden on our customer support, because people contact them and ask them, will it do this? Will it do that? And we just want to focus on getting the answers out there. And the sooner we can do that, the sooner people can have better lives. So that's that. Okay, Bev, I'll contact you later on. You're asking about the old style remotes and boosts. I'll contact you after that. Okay, is there a way to play with the software, like with the Spooky software, with the virtual generator? I understand. Now, Cheryl is asking, can you run in test mode? Well, yes, you can actually, but it does it in an easier way. When the software, you can start the software. You don't need a generator connected. You can load the frequencies in. The only thing that won't work is when you press the button at the bottom. It won't transfer to a pretend generator. or just not do anything. But that's okay, because there's nothing to see when you do that anyway. It will just have a box come up saying done, nothing else. You've seen that box. So in a way it is, you do have a facility to play with the software. It just means you can't load it in. Whereas with Spooky 2, it can pretend there's a generator and load it in and try different waveforms and things like this. MicroGen is the opposite of complicated. The feedback we've had from a lot of people using Spooky is, yes, it's amazing. Yes, it does things that no one else can do, but I wish that I could use it. This is the most common feedback that people have given us. It's complicated. I challenge anyone to tell me that this MicroGen software is complicated. You can program one button from turning the software on. You can turn it into a zapper or a blood purifier, one button. Or if you want to go really show off and turn it into a full-blown contact mode rifle machine, you select the programs, you can double click or just even single click and use the arrow to load it. Whichever way you want to do to transfer the programs, and then it's one button again. Yeah, I mean, even I could do that. Seriously, guys, if I could do it, you can do it too. I think that if someone was challenged in their memory, you can load the frequencies in and just tell them, hold the button until the lights come on. That's all they have to do. And I think that would make MicroGen accessible to everybody, especially the older people that haven't, when they grew up and in their adult years, they didn't have a computer. So, okay, I've made the software as simple as possible, but even the main unit as simple as possible. There's no run, stop, pause, one button. And that's the right button, not the wrong button. Okay. Okay, and Carrie or Kimberly, this person travels with other microcurrent devices, and they fall under the tens units category. And she's saying that there's never a problem going through customs, or Carrie travels through. Kimberly goes through different airports and has never been stopped or asked about any of them. and Rachel is saying that they've bought one already. Good idea, Rachel. Every single, am I allowed to say this? Ooh, I think I am, but we don't advertise it. We want people to buy products without realizing what good they're doing. But for everything that you buy from us, you're helping us with our development, but you're actually helping other people. And this is the trust that we have, which I mentioned at the beginning. Yeah, well, I mentioned it before, so therefore I am allowed to tell you. But for everything that you do, we do things like, we used to do one sale, one love. Well, now it's 2 loves. We've increased the amount of money. We've doubled the amount that we contribute into the trust for every sale, which is good, right? Yeah. And you if you do something without realizing it or without telling other people, it means more blessings. The blessings are more valuable. So yeah, that's it. Okay, so any more? I just checked my Q&A and that's empty. Oh, is it empty? Okay, so it would be, yeah. Okay, Barbara has placed an order. Barbara, please check your emails. They will refund you if you were eligible for a coupon. We will look after you. You're asking, will there be a video showing how to use it? Yes, we will supply a video on how to apply it. But the thing is, though, Barbara, we need someone beautiful to do that, and there's only me. And so we don't want to lose sales from me showing how to use it. So we thought, well, we'll get someone beautiful. And there's plenty of beautiful girls working for us. So we just need to get the time to make a proper video to show you how to use it. It'll be a short video because really there's very little to explain. Oh, and Barbara, you just said you got the email after you ordered it, so you missed out on that. Barbara, I've got some bad news for you. You didn't miss out on it. We will refund you. I will personally make sure. I don't actually need to say that because I know that for a fact. So don't worry, we will look after you. Just contact the person that you spoke to before, which would probably in that chat box in the bottom right corner. Give them the discount code, and they'll do they'll apply the discount for you. Do not worry. Okay, well that wraps up another summer. I'm really, really excited to have had the chance to finally give away one of my secrets, which is the MicroGen unit. Yeah, I am. I'm really excited about it. It ticks all the boxes for a device which is simple, powerful, effective, programmable, and I missed out the most beautiful one. Sorry, the best one, beautiful. It can be removed from this case. You just take it out. It holds in very tightly, very snugly, which is what I'm showing now. I think should be doing it from the bottom rather than the top. And wow, it's strong. Children, don't do this at home. But yeah, I'm determined, now that I've started, I'm determined to take it out. There we go. This is it without the case. So yeah, it's beautiful. Both sides, we're not hiding anything. And this is the case that it slides into. The case holds in very well. It's delivered with the case still on, and it's really designed to be kept in the case all the time. But if you really do want to have something that's a little bit smaller and you want something that's slippery and then just slide into a pocket, I don't know, maybe you want to have it like that. It's up to you. But I like the fact that it's got the added protection, so you can just slide in here, just clips in. There, it's in. Easy in, hard out. Yeah, there's really nothing else to show you, really. Comes with a programming cable. I noticed that the programming cable is quite a reasonable length, which is quite convenient. And the case itself is a really solid unit. A solid case. Has pockets for holding the cables, tens, pads. And how thoughtful is this? I asked the team here, what is this for? It looks like a guitar pick. And it probably is, truth be known. You know, the guitar picks for playing the guitar. But no, it's to make it easier for people when they open up the case for when they want to charge the battery or plug in the tens cable. I guess most times this would be just left open and you wouldn't need to use this guitar pick anymore. So yeah, aren't we really good people? We think of everything. I thought this quite, I was quite touched when I saw that. I mean, it probably costs 0.001 cent, but it's the feel, it's the thought behind it that they did that. It was kind of cute, kind of nice. Now, I was going to say something in my excitement. What was I going to say? No, it's gone. My tummy is telling me, time for food, eat something. Actually, I'm really hungry. I went for a 1 week fast just recently, and that was easy. And now I've gone through a 4-hour fast, and it's hard. Aren't humans funny? Yeah, our bodies, you know. I guess a lot of it was to do with the mental state. I knew that I was going to do this fast, and I was going to just not have any other options. But now, you know, I've just come here before breakfast, and my body was expecting food and didn't receive it. And Bev, you're saying about a photo for the spooky team. Hey, that's a good idea. I'll put it in the next board meeting. Board meeting, gosh. Yeah, sometimes I can pretend that we're a big company with yeah. No, I'll put it to the girls and boys here. And actually, during the spooky birthday, we did have a group photo. We didn't put it on the website, or I don't think we put it on the website. We should do that, shouldn't we? So you can see, the people that have devoted a large portion of their their lives in helping. Just before I pull the plug, I do want to put a good word in for our support crew. Now, it's hard work supporting globally people, because at any particular time, one country is going to be awake. So our support team, they put in an enormous amount of hours and on the help desk to help people. Now, not just that, but even while they're at work, I've quite often stayed back late for some reason. It could be for design or for coding or for anything, or just for eating. No, but maybe 9 o'clock at night, I'd see that the girls are still working hard, and I'd ask them, what are they doing? And they say, oh, just helping someone. 9 o'clock at night. And then they'd go back home in the dark to their families. And they do this, it's not unusual for them to put in really long hours. And then when they go home, they turn their computer on so they can give support live. It's kind of touching, like they do work really hard. If they didn't have their hearts in the jobs, they wouldn't extend themselves so much. So the people that work for us are the right kind of people for what we do. And what we do is to help as many people as we can. It's just, we've got other people that do other function, and they too work hard. We've got, when we design a product, we want to have the very best components in there. We don't want cheap stuff. We want real quality, which usually means, truth be known, buying things from America. And we've got to find not just an American product, but the right American products that are several tiers higher than others in quality. So it takes a lot of work to source these components. And we've got a team dedicated for that. And they also work till late hours at night. And even during the weekends, they're working. They're dedicated. That's the spooky team. Well, MirrorMate, Clean Technologies, HeaWea. It's us. Okay, just us. There's different names. We are very, very dedicated. We're all crazy over here. We just do it. We've been doing it for a long time, and we'll continue to do it for a long time. It's the right thing to do. Okay, team, I've got to go. Echo is here. Have you got any food for me?
Oh, you haven't had any food yet?
No.
Yeah, I have nuts. I'll get nuts for you.
Yeah, nuts work. Anything. That was the voice of Echo Lee, who many of you know through emails or through the forum and Facebook. Gosh, I'm hungry. Okay, well, I better go. Thank you very much for your time. I hope that we can provide the answer for your health problem with MicroGen. I know that we have done an amazing job.
Yeah, you made the eggs for you. Did you not have any eggs?
Yeah, I had the 2 eggs.
But you are hungry now.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Echo Lee.
Hello. Are there anyone online now?
Yeah, probably. There's 50 online, and we are live.
Right.
Live on Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
Echo's a bit camera shy. Well, she's not really, because you've done coffee times, but you weren't expecting this, were you? Okay, well, I'm going to make this disappear in microseconds, but I'll do it offline because things can get a bit messy. Take care, everybody. Keep on passing the love forwards. Make the world a better place. And think about what I said about before.
Actually, I've asked about the speed is very.
Because I'm hungry, I want to eat. Think about ways of improving you. Once you've done that, you can improve others. Okay, you'll find that you'll find that things just turn around. Things become better. Okay, take care, everybody.
Bye. Take care.
Bye bye.